Stop making excuses. Stop using your age as a reason why you keep making these mistakes in life. You're not too old to start doing the right thing. Those ladies and two gentlemen that you see going down the hill just came from the top of Lone Mountain. Okay? They're all up in their upper 70s. Two of them are 80 years old. And to be climbing up this hill, of course, they have the right tools with them just to make sure that they maintain their balance. But they're doing the necessary things to make sure that they're going to be safe. And also staying active, staying healthy, so they can live a longer and prosperous life. They're enjoying their retirement. So a lot of you guys who watch me knowing that I always try to tell a story or I use visual to normally get my stories across. Now, I got a long way to go, man. Gotta watch my step, show you guys what I have to deal with, what everyone has to deal with coming up this mountain. If you don't have good balance, it can be treacherous. So, top of the hill, that's the midway point, but we're gonna try to make it all the way up today. Let's give it a go. So this is the other half of the group that went down earlier, a little further down. This is the second half of the crew. They belong to a club. They live out in Sun City. It is a 55 and older community. One of those communities where I had a lot of my visits going on when I was doing home care. Meet a lot of interesting people. You know, that's why I love doing this. You get to meet a lot of good people, have some great conversation. But we're not there yet. Almost. Whew. The last leg is always the worst, man. All right, so let me get going up top, man. So you're angry. You're bitter. You blame everyone for everything negative that happened to you in your life. You blame everyone because your relationship that you choose to be in didn't work out. Well, here are some questions that you got to ask yourself. Did you take the time to make sure that your mind is right before you get involved into any relationship with any woman, no matter what part of the world she's from? Did you take the time to make sure that you get to know this woman before you jump into the relationship? Did you allow your loneliness to cause you to jump at the first thing that says, I love you? You got to look at yourself. Sometimes you have to ask these questions. I know a lot of you guys are very bitter to what happened to you, but ask yourself, did you do the hard work to make sure that these relationships that you guys get yourself into is the right one for you? Did that woman that you choose to talk to online or in person when you travel overseas, did you do the right thing to make sure that she's going to be the right one for you? Or you just let your loneliness took over, you throw your common sense out the window, and all you saw was a beautiful, beautiful woman, and that was enough for you to jump right into the damn relationship? Who the hell you think is to be blamed if these things don't work out? I know there's a lot of guys out here, they're very bitter, they're very angry. You know, of course, certain things happen to them in their lives, you know, and they don't want to take the responsibility. They don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to see how they are. Some of you guys might be horrible drinkers, have terrible problems, smoke a lot, don't take good care of yourself. It might not be the woman. It might just be you. And then again, if it's the woman and she's not a good woman, I'm going to say you guys ought to be blamed because you all never really took the time to find out everything that you need to know about these women. I'm up here in Lone Mountain. This is where I like to come and exercise. It's been a long time since I've been up here. It is really windy, so I'm hoping that you guys can really hear me. Like I say, you know, I kind of find out I like making these kind of videos because, you know, I want to talk to men out there with common sense. Not the bitter guys, them who are just going to be bitter no matter what. Even if you're telling them the truth about themselves, they don't want to hear what you got to say. You tend to just leave them be. And if they're listening, hopefully that they'll listen. But do me a favor first. There is a new YouTube channel. It's not really new. Yeah, it's been around for a little bit now. I've been following that dude for a little bit since he's been using that brother that passed away videos to make content and stuff like that. But I like what he's really doing now. I like what he's doing with his channel. Richie Rich in the Philippines. You guys need to go and subscribe to that brother channel if you all haven't done so yet. You know, him and his lady, they've been putting out some damn ass good content. So you guys really need to go and check them out. And if you do, tell them that I send you, man. Tell them that I send you. But anyway, let's get on here with this video. Let's go on and have this conversation here. So I finally made it up top. It has been a journey. Took a lot of work, but I made it. Whew, I think I need to drink some water, but I'm so excited. I'm up here. I'm just gonna let this video go and just talk to you guys. It took some work to get up here, man. I want you guys to really see this. Look at this. It's a little overcast down in the city, but check this out. Isn't this really beautiful? See, this is what I really love to do. This is where I get my pleasure. This is where I get my enjoyment. Hike out in the desert, get up on top of Lone Mountain. I used to do this mountain 3 times a week until around the pandemic came around. You know, I blew out one of my knee. Got some situation going on with my back way back in the day, and it started flaring up. You know, I had to go out and get therapy, strengthen both my knees, strengthen my back. And this is the reason why I like to hike, and this is the reason why I like to walk out in the desert, and especially getting back into walking up Lone Mountain. It took a lot of work to get up here. It's not easy. But if you really want to enjoy this, seriously, if you really want to enjoy these type of views, you got to work for it. Just like getting into a relationship. If you really want a long-lasting relationship and you want the relationship to work, you got to work for it. You got to work hard at getting that right relationship for you. Same thing. Truly do. And, you know, this is just going to be a follow-up on the last 2 videos that I really make. And, you know, it's amazing how you can tell someone's mindset from the comments that they leave down in the comments section. You can learn a lot from people. But just like how I enjoy doing this, and to get up here and enjoy the view that I'm seeing, looking down in the neighborhood that I live in and beyond, I had to work hard for it. Truly do. And I'm talking to the fellas them who are bitter, who carry a lot of bitterness along with them because, you know, they get into these relationships, like I say, either because their mind is not right. There's certain things that's going on with these guys that they refuse to understand. You know, they do drink a lot, or maybe they smoke a lot, or they just don't take care of themselves. And they probably end up finding a good woman to be with. But just because of their bad ways, that good woman maybe can't look past the issues that some of these men are having. And they decide that, you know, there's something better out there. And they leave them. Could be here in America, could be in the Philippines, could be somewhere else around the world where a lot of guys are leaving to go find their future wives or lady to be with. You got to think. You got to make sure that you're right. You know, I made a video about this when I talk about the lady that I was with before I met my wife. I know I wasn't doing her right. It was no cheating, no nothing like that. It's just that my mind wasn't really right. And I wasn't really doing her any favor. And I decided to just let her go so she can find someone to be really with. someone who can make her happy. But I made a promise that I am not going to be getting into no relationship until I fix myself, until I fix my mind. And that's exactly what I did. It took me 2 whole years before I can get my mind right. Because, a lot of us, man, a lot of us been through some traumas in life. And a lot of us haven't really dealt with those. Our generation was taught like, hey, you're a man, suck it up, deal with it. So we bury that shit within us. And, it comes back up later on and it haunts us. And it causes us to do a lot of bad things to ourselves and the people that we are with, that we end up with in our life. And that was me in that relationship prior to my wife. 2 years to get my mind right. But then you see, when I met my wife, I just didn't jump right into the relationship. Man, she was young, petite, hot. Like I said, she wasn't my first choice. But after talking to her and getting to know her, I found out that she was a great woman. But no matter how much I thought she was great, I still didn't trust her enough to say just jump right into a relationship. But it took me 2 years, 2 long years, to make sure that she was the right one for me. I'm out of that age that I just don't want to jump in and out of relationship anymore. So I said the next woman that I get involved with, she's going to be it. So I had to make sure that she was the right one. And I took my time. And then when I get to know her here after those 2 years, then we started traveling to the Philippines. That was before we were married, because I wanted to see her lifestyle that she was living there. I wanted to meet her parents. I wanted to meet her family. I wanted to know what I was getting involved with. And that's what I did. I took my time. So I'm just saying this to say, for a lot of you fellas who are bitter and angry that you guys has been burnt in relationship with women from overseas, you got to stop and ask yourself, was it you? Was the problem? Was you the problem? Or if you end up having a good woman and you was the problem, did you do the right thing to fix yourself before you lose that woman? Or you allow your loneliness and being desperate, thinking that you're getting old, that you have to find the first thing that come at you and said, I love you. You guys got to take your time. You got to take your time and do the right thing and making sure that you're getting into the relationship that is right for you. Just don't jump into the first thing that say, I love you. And you cannot have a wife on the internet. Some of you guys are getting married to these women on the internet before even meeting them. You're just talking to them on the internet. What the hell kind of relationship you think that's going to be? Well, of course, we've seen it played out on YouTube. We saw what happened, right? You got to take your time to get to know the person. Go overseas and spend some time with this woman. Find out about her life. Find out about her family. Find out about what she's all about before you guys jump into these relationships and then bring these women abroad, or either you keep them over there in the country where you choose to go to find a wife, and then you all end up getting burned, and then you all end up getting bitter. I'm just saying, man, I like to have these conversations because you know something? I'm an old man too, and I was burned in life. I know what it's like for somebody to reach inside my heart, take it and throw it on the ground and stomped on it. I was there. I was truly there. And that was the reason why, my mind, along with other shit that messed my mind up. So when I got into that relationship before I met my wife, this woman was a good woman. The type of woman that I really wanted to be with. That nice southern Mississippi woman, that dark chocolate type of woman. She was great, but I wasn't right in my mind. And I knew I wasn't doing her any favor. As much as she really wanted to be with me and she loved me, I knew I was hurting her. So I went and I took care of myself. Make sure that I was right mentally and physically before I got myself into any other relationship. I just feel like having that conversation, talk about it. Sometimes I always like to use a scene or use visual, so you get my point across in a way, So you guys always know what it is with me, man. It is always peace and love, man. Peace and love. I like talking to you fellas, man. I truly do. And I'm hoping that I'm helping someone. I truly hoping that I'm helping someone. And to let you guys know, listen, man, You can be retired like me and stay at home in America and live a nice, relaxing, decent life. There's so many things to do here in America. You can enjoy yourself. But then again, that's not fair. I got me a wife here, got me a family here. My wife, she's younger than me. She got a great career. She's doing good. I wouldn't dare thinking about uprooting her and taking her back to the Philippines while she's doing so good, because I know if I do that, I know what's going to happen to the relationship. Because she loves what she's doing and she's happy with what she's doing. And for me personally too, I don't really want to move to the Philippines. We've been going to the Philippines every year for the longest, and that's what we're just going to keep doing and stay here in America. But listen, man, you don't have to leave your home country to live good. I'm prime example. I'm talking to the guys who think like me, like-minded guys. And I'm also talking to the guys who are living overseas to let you guys know, hey man, there's certain things that you guys can do to make sure that you're right, to make sure that when you find this woman, it's going to be an everlasting relationship. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Hey, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. And give me a thumbs up, man. A lot of you guys are watching my videos but not giving the thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Give me a thumbs up. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. It's always peace and love, man. Peace and love, That's the mode that I'm in. Peace and love.